Hi everyone, I'm Christine Catallo. I'm the Chief Librarian at Pequot Library, and today I want to talk to you about our virtual book club. So this month we're reading My Italian Bulldozer by Alexander McCall Smith, and we'll be discussing the book on May 19th at 3:30 over Zoom. I hope you can join us, and I hope you're enjoying the book. I know that Alexander McCall Smith is a huge favorite in our community. He's written so many wonderful books. So if you are enjoying the book, I can recommend many more of his, but one in particular, my favorite, is The Department of Sensitive Crimes. And the reason why I love this one is because it's a parody of the Nordic noir genre. And if you're not familiar with it, Nordic noir refers to mysteries, thrillers that are originally published in the Nordic countries and are typically, as the name Nordic noir suggests, very dark. But obviously, The Department of Sensitive Crimes, being a McCall Smith book, is not dark. It's very lighthearted and fun, and also pretty philosophical, which is nice. So I'm going to read you an excerpt, just the first couple pages, so I hope you enjoy it. Chapter 1. Free association, charged at normal rates. Soren, said Dr. Svensson, gravely, but with a smile behind his horn-rimmed glasses, and then waited for the response. There would be an answer to this one-word sentence, but he would have to wait to see what it was. Ulf Varg, born in Malmö, Sweden, the son of Tore and Liv Varg, only too briefly married, now single again, 38 and therefore fast approaching what he thought of as a watershed. After 40, Ulf, said his friend Lars, where does one go? That same Ulf Varg raised his eyes to the ceiling when his therapist said, Soren. And then Ulf himself, almost without thinking, replied, Soren? The therapist, kind Dr. Svensson, as so many of his patients described him, shook his head. He knew that a therapist should not shake his head, and he had tried to stop himself from doing it too often. But it happened automatically, in the same way as we make so many gestures without really thinking about them. Twitches, sniffs, movements of the eyebrow, the folding and unfolding of legs. Although many of these acts are meaningless, mere concomitants of being alive, shaking one's head implies disapprobation. And kind Dr. Svensson did not disapprove. He understood, which is quite different from disapproving. But now he disapproved, and he shook his head before he reminded himself not to disapprove, and not to shake his head. Are you asking me or telling me, he said, because you shouldn't be asking, you know. The whole point of free association, Mr. Varg, is to bring to the surface, to outward expression, the things that are below the surface. To bring to the surface the things that are below the surface. Ulf liked that. That, he thought, is what I do every time I go into the office. I get out of bed in the morning to bring to the surface the things that are below the surface. If I had a mission statement, then I suppose that is more or less what it would be. It would be far better than the one foisted on his department by headquarters. We serve the public. How bland, how anodyne that was. Like all the communications they received from headquarters. Those gray men and women with their talk of targets and sensitivity and more or less everything except the one thing that mattered, finding those who broke the law. So that's just a very short excerpt, but I think it introduces the story really well and the characters really well. So I hope you enjoy it, and I really hope you can join us on May 19th at 3:30 for our discussion of My Italian Bulldozer. And for more updates on our book club and other programs that Pequot Library is putting on virtually, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and visit our website at pequotlibrary.org. Thank you, and stay well.